දස දෙසින් හමාරන උරුණු ජවය නැගෙන සුලලින් සිංහ දජය නෙලදේ ජය අපතයි ලෝකයේ.
Carlton Super 7s, powered by Easy Cash.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the ThePapare.com live coverage of the Junior Asian Rugby Tournament at Racecourse Grounds. 2:30 kickoff today. The first match will be between Chinese Taipei and South Korea. This is round 2 of the Junior Asian Rugby Tournament in Colombo. and both teams have gone unchanged. And we'll see live kickoff in a bit. Joining me on commentary is Spencer. What do you think of the both teams coming out today? And it'll be a 2:30 clash. And what do you think about the weather?
Good afternoon, everybody, our viewers. Yeah, we have the first match. It's between Chinese Taipei and Korea. And the conditions actually is very warm, so probably these two teams, they might not be used to these conditions. It's humid, warm, and probably the match will get kick off, and it will be a tough game for both teams, as they will find it difficult with these conditions to play good rugby. So let's see. Actually, Korea, they beat Sri Lanka, and Chinese Taipei lost to Hong Kong. So it'll be it's a must-win game for Chinese Taipei, because Hong Kong is unbeaten with Korea. So if Korea and Hong Kong win today, then it'll be a final on Saturday. Teams being introduced.
Spencer, and also the other fact is they'll be getting a minute break in between. So it'll be played in quarters, 20 minutes, a minute break, 20, half. So both teams have been introduced to the chief guests, and we'll go into the national anthems. We'll be right back after that.
Chinese Taipei will comprise of Lin on loose head, Weng, Pang, Ling Chang, Ye, Ling Hu, Xing on scrum half. Outside half is Yuan, wing is Liu, center is Sing, Ling, and we have another Ling on the wing, and fullback will be Chang.
So welcome back, and national anthem's done and dusted. We're ready to kick off. Korea going in as favorites today, had a tough match against Sri Lanka, just won by 3 points last Sunday. And the Sri Lankans will be disappointed on that and hoping to come back strong against the mighty Hong Kong team. That match coming up at 4:30 in the evening. Stay tuned, our rugby fans all around Sri Lanka, and we'll be bringing you live coverage on that between Sri Lanka and Hong Kong at 4:30. And the match about to kick off right now is South Korea versus Chinese Taipei.
So it's Korea to kick off, and they're in their traditional blue jerseys, whereas the Chinese Taipei will be in the white jerseys with the blue stripes. And the kickoff is taken by the Chinese player, goes into a ruck ball, but the ball is not collected clean. It's through the center, and he dummies away, and he's through there. Couple of tackles, and he's brought down. But the ball is stolen by the Korean, and referee sees something and avoids a penalty to Chinese Taipei. Just close to the halfway mark.
That's been a good start from Chinese Taipei coming back, and they have brought in Chen to the number 10 jersey instead of Huang, who played on the last match against Hong Kong. So that will be a vital change. He came in as the second choice in the first game for Chinese Taipei and did well, and here he is, has earned a place to start as Chinese Taipei get the line out feed. Nicely done, given to the first center. He's the dangerous man for Chinese Taipei, brought down from the Korean defender there. Taipei once again, the ball going out to Lin on the outside. Setting up is Chinese Taipei. He gives the ball out. Another ruck just inside the Korean half. Ball position so far in the hands of Chinese Taipei, trying to keep it close, trying to run into traffic. Inside pass from the fly half. Once again it comes out of the fly half. Now looking for support. Decoy runner missing there. Good continuity, but running back is Chinese Taipei. Now they spot the space at the back, and good work done from the full back of South Korea. Opportunity here to counter attack for Chinese Taipei. He's been brought down in the tackle. Lin gives it to his inside wing, Lun. He's been brought down once again from South Korea. Chinese Taipei looking to attack. There's been a good defense so far. Good tight defense, cutting the angles down. Now nice catch and pass. Has one man on the outside. This is the dangerous first center for for Chinese Taipei. It's Chen who's with the ball. Now it comes out to step up once again. Here's the playmaker for Chinese Taipei, the fly half. Looking for support, and in the meantime it's knocked forward, says to the referee, and a penalty advantage coming to Chinese Taipei. Referee playing advantage. Lovely step. He beats two, and he's been brought down. In the end is Chen. Weng with the ball now, backpedaling, need to set up and look for space. They have men on the outside. Has stepped off one. Is the left wing for Chinese Taipei. Setting it up beautifully. Now the ball comes out to the second row. That's Chang with the ball. Here's the fly half. Good hit in the middle. Brought down from Korea. South Korea defending very well, and they earn a penalty. What an effort from the Koreans. They were tackling after every second. There were a couple of tackles made. And from there on, they earn a penalty. Good start, Spencer, for both teams.
Yeah, especially it was a good start for the Chinese Taipei because they were the underdogs and they held most of the position and the ball, but they couldn't gain much territory because there was some good defense by the Koreans. Finally conceding a penalty to the Koreans, so they kick and they find touch. It's not very good kick. They didn't gain much distance. So it's a line out to the Koreans between their 22 and 10 meter. They work there and they are about inches short of the 22 line. Again the ball comes out, pass to their. He dummies away and he right there. The underdogs coming here in this match and they get the first scorecard. It's a nice workout. The line worked out and they found the overlap. Some good, brilliant passing there and finally spotted the gap. Scored by number 21. Who that is? With the conversion to come number 15. Sorry. That's Chang's that try scored by Chang. So he's going to convert. So early pressure on the Koreans. So Dinuk, it has been all Chinese Taipei so far, and it's interesting to see the underdogs really putting pressure on the mighty Koreans. And the conversion is missed there, so the scores will stay Chinese Taipei 5, Korea 0. So Korea will have to restart and they'll have to find their form.
That was a good start from Chinese Taipei. Korea, of course, even letting Sri Lanka to score in the early minutes in the last game. They come back much strong in the second half. And they will want to make a point here. The Koreans, at the restart, going in for a long ball into the 22, safe hands. And Chinese Taipei will put this into touch. Mistake. Not going into touch. And position given. The Koreans will reply with a high kick. Tap back for the Koreans. And referee letting it go. Chinese Taipei, lucky bounce there for the flanker. Referee playing advantage, letting it go. Here comes the big inside center for Chinese Taipei. That's Chen. And it's a knock forward in the meantime. Or rather, it's a penalty for holding on. Too much pressure from Korea. This is what they're good at the breakdowns. They put a lot of pressure against Sri Lanka in the last game. But their defense looked a bit vulnerable. However, Chinese Taipei leading 5-0 in the early stages of the first match. And they get the first opportunity. 7 minutes on the clock, 5-0. And for the first time, South Korea come into the Chinese Taipei half into the 40-meter mark.
So he'll be a line out to the Koreans between the Chinese Taipei 10 meter and the 22 meter line. And the throw is not very good, and I think the loose ball is picked by the Chinese Taipei here. So Koreans, they lost both their line outs, and ball is kicked there into the Korean territory. And will it go over the deadline? Yeah, that will be the ball goes over the try line, so it will be a 22 dropout to the Koreans. That kick was too long. So the Koreans will have to regroup here. They are trailing 5-0 with about 9 minutes of play. The 22 dropout, ball kicked and collected by the Chinese Taipei. He goes into 2 tackles and he goes into a ruck ball. Should come Taipei way. And that's another good break there by their center. He goes into ground. Ball again with the Taipei. They're working their line. They're trying to find gaps and go through. But Korean defense had stood. And again another good line break there. They are having numbers. Number 21 is brought down just outside the 22-meter line. It's another ruck ball, but referee spotted something, I think a knock on, and he awards a scrum to the Koreans just outside their 22 line. It was disappointing to see the Chinese Taipei having so much good ball there and gaining territory, but unfortunately they gave it was a knock on, and they gave the ball back to the Koreans.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Analyzing the first game between Sri Lanka and South Korea, even Damit said that their lineouts were not that good in the first match against Sri Lanka. Here again in the first lineup they have lost it. Referee not happy with the scrum reset. And nice to see some support for South Korea also. Some high officials who work in Sri Lanka have just arrived in the ground. And Korea need to get out of jail here. Opportunity for them. And this weather will not do good at all for both these teams. The ball goes into the scrum. It's a knock forward once again, but the referee letting it go. Set up beautifully for South Korea. Their peak can go inside their own 22, trying to set up the kick and give some angle to the fly half. And now the ball comes out, puts in a high kick. And a good take. The try scorer there for Chinese Taipei. Xu picks it up, gives it to his scrum half. Scrum half stepping on the outside is Heisei. Now the ball has been set up there. Prop forward taking it in. That's Lin, the loose head prop for Chinese Taipei. Setting it up, working it inside their own half in the 50-meter mark. Now the ball comes out on the outside. This is a nice kick. Good weight from the fly half, and the Korean Taipei defense was up for the attack there, but just not enough, just too much breathing space. But I like this replacement fly half for Chinese Taipei. That's Chen. He's doing a good job. He's reading the game very well and looking for spaces at the back of the defense line. And if there is any, he's quickly reacting to it and putting the ball behind the defensive line. And from there on, they're putting a lot of pressure. It's nice to see once again it comes out, and it's a crooked throw for Chinese Taipei this time. So both teams vulnerable early in the line-out, Spencer.
Yes, there have been 3 lineouts, and Korea losing both, and the first line out for Chinese Taipei, and that was a crooked throw, so it will be a scrum to the Koreans, just close to just outside their 10-meter line. Conditions very warm here at the racecourse grounds. It's a scrum, and it's held there well by the Koreans. And he goes on the blind side. It's kicked by their number 10, their fly half. He kicks and finds Chinese Taipei player. He kicks back and collected by the Korean fullback just outside his try line, and he tries to dummy. He dummies 2 tacklers, but he's held there and brought to ground. And finally it's touched there just between the 22 and the 10-meter line, so it will be a line out to the Chinese Taipei. Territory has been all Chinese Taipei so far, Dinuk.
Yeah, it has been, and they have come with a plan into this game, and so far they have executed very well. That is to play in the South Korean territory. Anything into their own half, they quickly kick it back to the South Koreans and pin them down in the own half, and that's very good play so far from Chinese Taipei as they get the line out this time correctly, setting up for a maul, not driving forward. Held up beautifully by South Korea. Now they come out. It's been pushed back. Size will be a big problem here. Weight, and now the Koreans, nice body angle. This Chinese Taipei Koreans pushed back. Inside the 22, the Chinese Taipei go. Still pushing. Still setting up. This is very good from Chinese Taipei. Now the ball comes out, set up from the ruck, gives it to the playmaker, fly half. He steps off one and just the offload, missing it there. Beautifully done from the fly half, but just the collection missed. From that was by Huang. The inside center for Chinese Taipei working very well with his fly half, just failed to collect it. Had he collected it, good opportunity for the Chinese Taipei to score their second try. And nevertheless, Koreans will have the ball now on their own 22. Should be able to kick this out on the full. And the ball comes out Korea way. Straight to the fly half. This time he will put this into touch. Yes, he does. So once again, inside their own half, the South Koreans just for once they visited the Chinese Taipei half and made a blunder by not throwing the ball in straight in their line out. So far it's been very good rugby played by Chinese Taipei.
Yes, definitely. Actually, they've been holding position, and even the territory, it's all been dominated by the Chinese Taipei, and they win a line out, but they go backwards actually, and they are held up in the halfway line. They work their line again, tries to break, but it's good defense by the Koreans, and they try to work on the blind side, and they find they have numbers there. Now that's number 7. He's brought down. He goes into a ruck ball, but referee spotted something. I think it was a knock on there. So it was very unfortunate actually for the Chinese Taipei. They've been having position and they've been gaining territory, but moment they do that, they concede the ball, Dinuk.
Yes, they have. This is the second time they have done that inside South Korea half. Chinese Taipei should be a bit more careful in handling. I thought they missed a good opportunity. He had 3-on-1 there. Instead, the flanker decided to go into the hit. 17 minutes into the first half, Chinese Taipei leading 5-0. We'll be going for a minute break in another 3 minutes time. That's because of the weather. South Korea putting the ball into the scrum. Referee not happy with the scrum set, so he will come back and reset the scrum once again. Once again, the defensive plan for South Korea, the Chinese Taipei is looking good. They have put down a couple of men on the back, has 4 on the first line of defense. So they're very happy to counter-attack from this defensive pattern. What I see now, any high ball will be the South Koreans should be expecting a counter-attack if they're kicking into the Chinese Taipei half. This time they run the ball on the outside, has 2-on-1. Nicely done. That's the Korean win 3/4. His shin on the outside, gains some meters. Now gives it to his second row. That's Kim. He's setting it up just outside the 22. Now South Korea look very dangerous, giving it out. Poor pass. That was from Ryu. In the meantime, referee had played advantage and has given a penalty to South Korea. Tap and run from Yo. He takes the ball inside the 22. Interesting play here from the South Koreans. Lee with the ball now, setting it up beautifully. This time is the other lock, Sung with the ball, taking it in. The fly half, Han now gives it to Kim. Kim steps, he's been held up, standing on his feet, looking for support. No one there, now setting it up and gives it to Choi. And a knock forward from the South Korean number 8. And that'll be a 1 minute break. We'll be back. after this short break. Welcome back. And we're ready to restart proceedings after a 1 minute break, a water break. Chinese Taipei with the ball. They get a free kick quickly taken from their number 8. Is Chinese Taipei inside their own half, running into traffic, setting it up beautifully. Now the ball comes out to the fly half, and he puts it to touch. Nice spiral kick from him. Just outside the 22 opportunity here for South Korea, Spencer.
Yeah, this will be their first attacking position. They have a line just outside the Chinese Taipei 22-meter line. But so far they had 2 lineouts, and both were stolen by the Chinese Taipei. So let's see whether they get it correctly at this time, and it's stolen by the Koreans. They managed to keep the ball, and ball goes backwards, but they try to work the line there. The number 13, he's held up not cleanly, and he goes, ball goes loose, but it's still with the Koreans. They're working there with their number 8. Goes into a ruck ball. Ball collected by their wing three-quarter, and referee spotters something there, and he awards a penalty there to the Koreans. Will they go for points or will they go for touch? Dinuk.
I think 3 points would be sensible at this moment. There's plenty of time to go in this half, so interesting option from South Korea going in for a scrum. That'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah, that's interesting actually, rather than going for a kick to touch, and because their lineouts have not been working well, so they don't have confidence. They prefer to go for a scrum and then set it up for their line, Dinuk.
But at this moment, I think with plenty of time left on the clock, I think 3 points would be sensible with a team like South Korea who can play an attacking rugby and can have the petrol to play the full 80 minutes. However, they have decided the other way, going in for a scrum. Let's see, will this move work for South Korea? As the Hong Kong team have just arrived at the racecourse grounds, they'll be playing their next match against host Sri Lanka at 4:30. And whoever who are watching just close to Colombo, we invite you to the racecourse grounds. As South Korea, the number 8 break, and been hit up by Kim. Kim Sang-jin is with the ball. Now gives it to Lee Kyu-sang, setting it up, the loose head prop. The scrum half for South Korea now taking the ball in. That's on. And pick and drive from Sang this time. It's been brought back by the Chinese Taipei defense. Very good tackling. Kim Sang-jin once again. Referee playing advantage, a penalty advantage for South Korea. As the ball comes out, nicely step and run from the South Korean fly half, trying to offload. Coming out onto the wing. Once again, poor passing. Fortunately for them, the Koreans have the penalty. And in front of the post, just off the left post, but it'll be interesting to see what option they will take again this time. And seems like they're going into touch once again, or yet to decide. The tap and running, this is interesting from South Korea. They want to score. On, looking for supporters. Tackle not rolling away, says the referee. On, taking a quick tap. Running across field, needs to run straight and offload. Inches close to the goal line is South Korea. Right under the post, pick and drive, looking for space there. Not getting it, held up. With the support of the goal post, Chinese Taipei holding it up. And referee will come back for a 5-meter scrum. Right in center field, opportunity for South Korea. It'll be interesting to see how they line up for this scrum. And they go into a 4-2 split. And it'll be interesting to see on which side they will attack the line from here on. As Chinese Taipei also prepare their defense accordingly. Referee having a word with the front rows. So huge opportunity in the first half for South Korea. After the water break, they've been right inside Chinese Taipei half. Just some handling errors costing them points. Secured at the back of the scrum is Choi with the ball, backpedaling. Just ran across field. On, looking for supporters. Now gives it to his tight head prop, Kim. Pick and drive from the South Korean forwards. Inches close to the goal line. And the South Korean fly half looking for support as they drive in once again. This time it's good defense from Chinese Taipei, holding it up. Good defense, very good defense from Taipei. They're looking to power their way inside is South Korea. Once again, 2 tacklers committing in. But just slipped off for the Koreans to go in. Very close to the try line now. They're looking for support, trying to play a 10-man rugby game here. Very close to the try line. Referee right on the spot. Taipei holding on, inches close to the goal line. Now the ball comes out to Kim Dae-won. Good tackle to bring him down. He's been held up. He goes on as he scored. It's a knock forward. It's a knock forward for Chinese Taipei. They get the After a good defensive passage from Chinese Taipei, they get what they wanted. Kim Sang-jin just peeled the ball off on top of the try line. So opportunity here to get out of jail. Spencer, very good defense from Chinese Taipei.
Full credit to the underdogs actually. There was so much pressure put by the Koreans and they held them. They were trying with their pack, their huge pack to score, but Chinese Taipei, they managed to hold on, and finally Koreans conceding a knock on there, so it will be a scrum. Still they are not out of jail actually. It's a scrum from their 5-meter line, so they need a good scrum, and they'll need to clear the ball and get distance. The scrum for the Chinese Taipei. This ball is held there to their fly off, and he'll need to kick this a good distance, but it's straight to the Korean fullback, and he fumbles with the ball, and it's a knock on there. So, and the loose ball collected by the Chinese Taipei, and he's got space there. Will he go through? He passes to his wing 3/4, but he's held up there in the 22-meter line. They have numbers here, the Chinese Taipei, if they can work the line, but they managed to go straight, and there are a number of Korean defenders, and it's still held there. Play advantage with the Chinese Taipei. They're trying to pick up and go straight in the Korean wall. They have numbers. They only need to, and that's try time there by the Chinese Taipei. And this is a super play by the Chinese Taipei. Number Chin there, and gets the second try for Chinese Taipei. So they had double their lead there. It's 10 points to nil with the conversion to come. And we had about 30 minutes. So will we have a upset here, Dinuk?
Looks like South Korea not enjoying the 2:30 start. And as I said before, this counter-attack move which they have come out with, this Chinese Taipei, is wonderful. It's working for them very well. Kicking the ball into the fullback, putting pressure with about 3 defenders. The fullback had the eyes on the defender rather than the ball. Spilt it down. And the flanker there who came in support for Chinese Taipei, that was Lin, who didn't have enough support, set it up in contact. From there on, they had a couple of places. And their try-scoring machine, Chen, too powerful under the post he goes. And it'll be 12 points to nil in favor of Chinese Taipei in the first half of the round 2, game 1 at Racecourse between Chinese Taipei and South Korea. Coming up is at 4:30. Is between the host Sri Lanka and Hong Kong. That'll be an interesting contest too. And nothing short here in the first match. Both teams, especially South Korea, playing some very good, Chinese Taipei playing some very good rugby. And this time it's a knock forward. And South Korea with the ball now. It's the scrum half. On with the ball, stepping, setting it up, bringing play out inside the 22. Wanted to reply quickly. Is the South Koreans. And once again looking to pick and drive. In the meantime, knock forward, drops the ball. Once again, Mook Choi is the culprit for the South Koreans. And the coaching staff are reacting with some changes quickly for South Korea. And they have brought in 2 changes in the forwards, 1 in the backs. And this will be very interesting. And the lucid prop and the second row for South Korea, they have been taken out, or rather lock has been taken out. So interesting to see changes early in the first half against Chinese Taipei as they have the ball with their own half. Now once again their playmaker puts the ball deep inside. This time the fullback collecting it. And it goes for the high kick. No much pressure there though. He drops the ball off. Referee playing advantage. Once again, opportunity for Chinese Taipei. This is very good play, trying to pin South Korea inside their own half, playing for territory. Excellent game so far. Excellent game plan from Chinese Taipei against the South Korean defense. And the Koreans need to look into their defensive patterns, maybe have a couple of more players behind in defense so they can also counter-attack rather than kicking the ball back to Chinese Taipei in position. On the 22-meter mark inside their own half, the South Koreans once again. As the Koreans, the Chinese Taipei, it's a knock forward. It's a knock forward. So South Korea once again not good in line-outs.
Dinuk, I noticed another thing. The Chinese Taipei fly half, he has read this game very well, and whenever they had the ball, he had rather than passing the ball to his working the line, he has up to kick the ball and gain territory, and he has gained distance and put the pressure on the Koreans. Dinuk.
Yes, they have, and I can't understand why he didn't play against Hong Kong last Sunday. Now the South Koreans once again putting the ball into touch, and it will be fortunately for the Koreans, it's off and Chinese Taipei hand, so they'll have the ball. They have the put in into the scrum, or sorry, the line out. So need to get this correct once again. Tap back from South Korea. Fortunate bounce for the Koreans there of the Chinese Taipei player. Now the ball comes out once again. Defense has been very good so far from the Chinese Taipei player. Penalty just in front, collecting the ball. Quickly taken from the Koreans. He drops the ball in the meantime, the South Koreans. So opportunity lost once again for the South Koreans. 12 points they trail, and they knock forward once again.
Yes, they up to go to take a quick tap and go, but then they didn't manage to work or gain much distance. And there have been some good tackling by the Chinese Taipei, making the Koreans to make the errors. So we see a scrum in the halfway line put in by the Chinese Taipei. Ball is held there by the Chinese Taipei, but it goes loose, and it's a turnover to the Koreans, or what is? The referee wants a reset, I think, on the scrum. So it will be another scrum for the Chinese Taipei on the halfway line. Held there by the Chinese Taipei and pass to their fly half. Let's see what he'll do. The playmaker, he tries to go this time, and he's held up on the 10-meter line, but still it's the ball with Taipei, and ball goes loose there, or is it a ruck ball? It's still with Chinese Taipei, and it's split there by their wing three-quarter, so it will be a scrum there to the Koreans. And we see a player, Chinese Taipei player, down, injured. Referee has halted play. Oh, it's half time there, so referee has blown for half time. So it's interesting to see the underdogs taking the lead here, leading by 12 points to nil. And much was expected by the Koreans to have their own way in this game, and it has not gone into plan, and they have been trailing 12-0 at halftime, so they'll need to work out their plans and come firing in the second half. if they are to pull out this match. But equally, the Chinese Taipei have held up well their defense, and also their playmaker has been the fly half who has kicked at times where they should have worked the ball and put the pressure on the Koreans. So at halftime at Racecourse Grounds, it's Chinese Taipei leading by 12 points to nil, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes time.
Welcome back. The second half about to kick off. And there you go. South Korea once again inside their own half. This time they put the kick behind to the Chinese Taipei player. Lucky collection, stuck in between the legs. And the ball coming out on the outside for the South Chinese Taipei wing. Referee giving an advantage, offside. A early opportunity for Taipei once again. Will they go for 3 points or into touch is a question. And going into touch, these boys are not that keen to get 3 points, or they have forgotten there's a... If they get into touch, I think that's well within his range. But however, maybe the wind against him at the moment has stopped him thinking to get 3 points. As Chinese Taipei once again trying to set up a maul. This time good drive, good power through early on. Referee playing advantage. It's a penalty advantage for collapsing the maul from South Korea. Now Chinese Taipei have the opportunity here. There you go, pulling down the maul. Quickly taken from the Taipei scrum half, but the referee says to wait for the mark. And he'll have a word with the South Korean captain skipper.
Dinuk, early pressure again put by the Taipans to the Koreans. So they have a penalty and they're going for a short tap, I think they decide. Or they're going for touch, yeah, they decide to go for touch. And this will be a line out about, say, 12 meters from the Korean try line. So early pressure for the Koreans here. Line out's going well for the Chinese Taipei, and they will look to get clean ball, and but that's not collected cleanly, and the ball goes backward. It's still with the Chinese Taipei, and is brought to ground. Ball should come Taipei way. They work the line there. It's their center, but I think referee has given for holding there. So a penalty to Koreans. He didn't have the support, Dinuk.
He didn't. The first rocker and the second rocker didn't arrive on time there for the Chinese Taipei's opportunity. Missed an opportunity for South Korea. To get some territory as they have put the ball into touch. Gained about 25 meters. Opportunity for Korea. Yo puts the ball in. Good line out this time. Now the ball comes out. Lob pass. I don't know whether it's the correct move, but straight into the hands of the forwards who are in the line. Referee playing advantage for South Korea as the ball. Nice hands. Has men on the outside. He's been brought down by a tap tackle from the Chinese Taipei defender there. Now nicely done from the Koreans. Now they have settled into a pattern. Scrum half need to get his passes correct. He's losing them a lot of territory in the meantime. Enter into the Chinese Taipei 22. Referee playing advantage. It's a penalty advantage for South Korea. As the scrum half, that's the replacement scrum half for South Korea. Ryu shows some dummies in, and the penalty now comes in the way of South Korea as there is no advantage for the Koreans. And offside is the call. So Chinese Taipei guilty of being offside in a crucial moment. And now once again they go for a scrum. I'm not sure if this is the correct option. Spencer, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought since their lineouts were not going well, so they decided to go on a scrum rather than kicking for touch and getting close to the Taipei line. So we'll have to wait and see, because they had this similar position in the first half and they decided to go on a scrum, and the Chinese Taipei managed to hold them and they couldn't get any points on that. Let's see whether this is the correct option. They take the scrum is well held and it's passed to their number 10. Tries to dummies his way. He's held up there, inches short of the 22-meter Chinese Taipei line, and the line still gaining territory there. Ball comes Korea way, that number 23. Dummies about 2 tackles. He's held up there, and ball goes loose. But referee spotted some infringement, and he gives a penalty to the Koreans. That it quickly taken, and the ball goes into a ruck there, about 10 meters short of the Taipei line. Ball still with Korea. It's nicely set up for that big number 8, but he's held up there, not gaining much territory. Still with Korea the ball, and this time they work the line and they have numbers. They have overlapped there, and the number 14, the ball came a bit slow to him, but there's some good defense there by the Chinese Taipei, and not allowing him to go, and it goes into a ruck ball there. Lots of bodies there over the ball, and should come Korea way. Ball still held there. Korea need to just get the ball and work their line. They're a strong line, but they decide to go straight into the strong Taipei wall, and Korea gaining their inches, getting close to the Taipei line. But some super defense here by the Chinese Taipei, and this time the ball goes loose, and it's a turnover by the Taipei, but referee has spotted something. I think that was a knock-on. He has given a scrum there, and about 3 or 4 players injured there, so referee halts play. Dinuk, again we saw Chinese Taipei holding the Koreans very well there and not allowing them to even get their points. Now we have about 40, almost 50 minutes of play, and still Korea find it difficult to get their first points on the board.
They have. In the meantime, there is an unfortunate incident to play on the deck. No movement at all. There are a couple of players, one South Korean on this side, on the other, and it doesn't look good rather. Both players not moving at all, and it'll be a stoppage. There you go. That's Kim Sang-jin, who's been taken out on the park. Been taken out in a stretcher. It doesn't look good. No movement at all. I don't know whether he's replying to the questions, initial questions which will be asked from the physio. And I think he'll be taken out from here on to rest and diagnose later on. There's another player on the far side who is also not looking in good shape. So, South Korea not only behind, trailing in the scoreboard, they're losing some key players in this match. But I don't think the Koreans would have faced a tougher, physically matched team like Sri Lanka. Chinese Taipei, a lot less in weight but quick on their feet. And the play has been stopped for a while until the injured players are taken off. We'll take a break as well. Stay tuned, we'll be back.
hello, and after halt in play there, referee finally getting the match underway. So it will be a scrum to the Koreans. It's another attacking position for them. They need to get some points on the board. They need to score quickly. The scrum, it comes well for the Koreans, and they're the number 10 dummies away. The ball goes loose, inches short of the line, but referee has awarded a try there. So Korea get their first points there. It was a scrum well taken there by the Koreans. They worked their line, and we saw Chinese Taipei. They are not having numbers to defend, and allowing Korea to score their first try. So it's 12 points to 5 in favor of Chinese Taipei with this conversion to come. Korea will be relieved after about scoring their first points after about 52 minutes. Dinuk.
Yes, they definitely will be. And with the kick just under the post, 12 points. And the conversion is good. They bring back their difference into 5 points, the South Koreans. As I said, Spencer, they're very dangerous in the second half coming back. So Chinese Taipei need to look into their defensive patterns and hold this lead up. They'll be in danger.
Dinuk, you think that the weather also has some issue with for both teams, because it's very, very warm today, and probably will that affect the both teams coming towards the end?
Yeah, it will. 2:30 start in Sri Lanka. It's always warm, so so it'll be interesting to see how they go, as South Korea once again coming back forward in their attack now, has men on the outside once again, not guilty of passing the ball onto the outside, having the speed runners going into tackle and losing the ball. And opportunity for Chinese Taipei just outside the 22. It's a great opportunity to hit back.
Dinuk, some fresh legs for the Koreans, because we saw a number of injuries and they were replaced. So it's an opportunity for the Chinese Taipei just outside the Korean 22 line, and so it's a scrum there. And ball is held there. It comes Taipei away, but it goes loose. Then referee spotted something, so probably it might be a scrum to the Koreans there. The scrum of guilty. They have not passing quickly to the line. They had a good opportunity. So the Korean flankers were quickly to spot on and made him to make that unforced error. So it's Korea with the scrum just outside their 22-meter line. It's all to play at the race course, with the Chinese Taipei leading by 12 points to 7 with about 25 minutes play left. It's held up well, and pass to their fly-off. He kicks straight into the Chinese Taipei number 21. That's Hugh. Hugh passes to his number 16. Then they work the line there well. And their right wing kicks the ball and finds touch there. That's a good touch there. That's a good kick, and it's a touch about 15 meters close to the Korean line there, Dinuk.
This put a lot of pressure on South Korea, though it's their own line out there. Their line outs has not been working good, so a lot of pressure on the South Koreans, as Chinese Taipei will look to contest in this line out and try to win position. And once again it goes in this time. Nicely done from South Korea. Knockback, says the referee. Now the scrum half spots the gap, runs through, puts the kick in. I think he's just overcooked it. And it's been out on the full from the Chinese Taipei win 3/4 who kicked the ball into touch. That's Yun Lin who has kicked the ball into touch on the full, so it'll come back once again, an opportunity for South Korea. On the 40-meter mark, and the ball goes up once again. This will be a crooked throw, but referee playing advantage as Chinese Taipei has retrieved ball. And advantage once again for Chinese Taipei, a penalty advantage, holding on. There you go. It's off the feet rather, referee says. So opportunity for Chinese Taipei to kick the ball into touch and start attacking in their own half. This is what they have been doing very well so far in this match. Putting the ball into the South Korean half and attacking from there on. And a good kick brings back play into the South Korean 22. It's an opportunity for the Chinese Taipei players.
So line out to the Chinese Taipei, and ball. It's not a good throw, but referee spotted something and he gives a free kick to Chinese Taipei, and they work the line there through their number 10. He's held there in the 22-meter line. Still with the ball with Chinese Taipei, and they work the line. There are numbers outside, but the number 16 decides to pass, to hold his pass. Ball still with Chinese Taipei, and the number 14 is put out of play, so it will be a line out to South Korea. About 15 meters from the try line. But referee has spotted something there. He has called play. Or is it? Speaking to some of the players. So it's a line out to South Korea. Both teams guilty of making unforced errors in their lineouts, Dino.
Yes, they have, and especially in their own half conceding position like that is very dangerous. As I speak, South Korea once again lose their line out, gives it to Chinese Taipei. Good tackle on him. Now opportunity for South Korea if they have runners on the outside. But they need to run the distance here, about 80 meters. But good cover defense from the Chinese Taipei players. Knockback, says the referee, and it will continue. And in the meantime, South Korea with ball. The ball comes out. Good defense, very good defense from the Chinese Taipei players. They have come very strong today. Setting it up once again. Now the long pass out to the South Koreans. Stepping. And out comes the 22, the replacement win 3/4. Knee has support. Needs to offload in on time. Doesn't. And now looking for players is the replacement win 3/4 there. Ryu with the ball. And they lose possession once again. And the Chinese Taipei fly half is very happy to put the ball into touch. Good play and mistakes costing points for South Korea, Spencer.
Yeah, when they come close to the Taipei line, they've been continuously making unforced errors, so they have been pushed back again. This has cost them. Actually, they are trailing at this moment by 12 points to 5, 12 points to 7 rather. So it's another opportunity to the Koreans. It's a line out at the halfway mark. And ball not collected cleanly again. So continues making mistakes then. And it's a rock ball to Chinese Taipei. They try to break through the pack, but he's held up there, the number 2. Now the ball comes to their fly half, who has been the playmaker so far. His kick is not good. It's straight to the South Korean number 21, and they have numbers there if they can work the line, but they decide to go straight into a Chinese Taipei player there, and it's a penalty there to Chinese Taipei, I think, for holding the ball there, and there is some tempers there between both side of players, and referee has awarded a penalty there to Chinese Taipei, so they can kick and get back play into the Korean territory. Dinuk, have you been surprised with the score at this moment, or were you expecting Korea to have their own way and win comfortably today?
I was expecting Korea to run riots against this Chinese Taipei team, as Hong Kong did, but looks like Sri Lanka will also have a tough match against Chinese Taipei. That's coming up on Saturday. And South Korea, in the meantime, referee not happy with something. Irshad Kadir, the assistant referee, had a word with him. So confirmation comes that it's a 35-minute half. In the meantime, referee having a word with the lock forward of South Korea. That's Kim Jae-won. Not happy with something. So it'll be a penalty for Chinese Taipei. An opportunity for them to once again get position and keep South Korea pinned in their own half. Nice kick, very nice kick from the Chinese Taipei fly half. He's been my man of the match today. He has read the game very well, very beautifully. The Chinese Taipei fly half. That's Su Chen Xiu, and that's he's been very good so far today. He has controlled this game very well for Chinese Taipei and led from the front in the backs, and their forwards has been superb in defense, simply superb. So it's a 1-minute break once again. Chinese Taipei leading 12 points to 7. So as the players get into a huddle, sort their things out, get their plans correct, I'm sure the South African coach will have something to say. We'll pass some messages on the other side, and water will be taken because it's very hot here in Colombo. We are at the racecourse grounds. There is a nice breeze in the grounds in the meantime, left to right on your screen. So South Korea also playing with the breeze behind them, and so far not interested in kicking or taking long shots. I think they missed about 3 chances to kick at goal, which will cost them in the end if they're not going to win this match, and they will sit back and rethink why they have not taken those opportunities. But the Chinese Taipei players have done a very good job so far, but need to hold on because the South Koreans managed to beat Sri Lanka in the last couple of minutes in the game on Sunday. And coming up next is the match between Sri Lanka and Hong Kong. That's at 4:30. Anyone around Colombo, if you are watching this live, and we invite you to the grounds at the racecourse. It's a beautiful venue, and to witness the Sri Lankans take on the Hong Kong players. Hong Kong, of course, had a brilliant game on Sunday. And Sri Lanka, both teams warming up on the sidelines in the meantime, as we are ready to restart proceedings.
So after the water break, players are back on the field, and so it's a line out to the Chinese Taipei on the Korean 22-meter line. So we come into the final quarter of this match, and this time the line out goes well for the Chinese Taipei. It's set up there to work their line, but they decide to go with their forwards. and goes into a ruck ball. So it's a ruck and drive situation for the Chinese Taipei, and the gaining territory, ball goes loose, but it comes Chinese Taipei way, and referee spotter something. Is it players? It's a knock on there, so he awards a scrum to the Koreans, probably for obstruction. Chinese Taipei had a golden opportunity actually to, they were gaining territory and getting close to the Korean try line, but unfortunately it was a obstruction, then giving ball back to the Koreans. So great opportunity lost by the Chinese Taipei, and if they had scored at this moment, probably they would have sealed this game, Dino, with it being a low scoring game.
Yeah, and that's once again a lost opportunity due to handling errors. Both teams have found themselves in that position today. As the ball comes out of the scrum, South Africa way and knocked South Korea way, and they have knocked forward once again. And opportunity for Chinese Taipei to attack from this just 10 meters out. And as you said, Spencer, this will seal the game for them if they score from here on. But they need to get their soft hands up in collecting the passes, and nice passes into chest height as they split into 3 into 2 and have a fullback too. This is interesting. Their own ball, they're having a fullback, which means it shows not confident about the scrum. Has been put in nicely, and the South Koreans drive Chinese Taipei forward. And a free kick has been awarded for the Chinese Taipei team, and they'll be very happy about this. Just inches close to the goal line, driving in through. Pick and go once again. Nicely set up at the back of the ruck. And they're trying to set up a maul. Has the referee called a maul just close to the try line. Now the ball comes out, wide out, and he scores. Referee, of course, calling for time off. He'll check with the assistant referee, Irshad Qadhi, on the far side. That's their try scoring machine, and he says no try. Irshad Qadhi has given the word. It has been a knock forward. Unfortunately for Chinese Taipei, it's a knock forward, and this will not be something they're happy with. So close, just cannot control the ball there, dropping it on the try line as the South Koreans need to get out of jail and need a good clearance kick if they have to come back on this game. It is a good kick, but a good collection too. This is where Chinese Taipei is so dangerous, counter-attacking. There you go, spotting pace at the back and puts the boot in. The speed wing comes in and drops the ball off once again. But referee letting it go, and it will be a 5-meter scrum in favor of Chinese Taipei once again. So opportunity for the Taipei boys to score once again in their own half, in their South Korean half, 5 meters out, and if the scrum is stable, and they will go back with points.
Yes, a good opportunity for them. They have been working hard actually, the Chinese Taipei boys, right from the beginning of this game, and they actually control the game. So it's a scrum there to the Chinese Taipei. Let's see whether they could convert this into points. Good opportunity, but referee is not happy, and probably might want a reset of the scrum. He's speaking to some of the Korean players, and he wants a reset. Still the chances with Chinese Taipei as the minutes tick by. We come into the last 10 minutes now with Chinese Taipei leading 12 points to 7. The scrum ball comes Chinese Taipei way, and the number right try to wear. He's held up there. Still about 5 meters, but referee has spotted something and given a scrum to the Koreans. There another mistake there by the Chinese Taipei. They had a golden opportunity, but again both teams seem to be making mistakes at crucial moments, Dinuk.
Yeah, this is the second time in about 5 minutes they're making mistakes. One knock forward right on the try line and the other just outside, 5 meters outside. So coaching staff will not be happy. South Koreans here need to kick the ball into touch or long into Chinese Taipei territory. Their counter-attacking move has been very good from Chinese Taipei today. They put the ball, if you kick the ball into their wings or the fullbacks, the back three, they will attack you with venom. As the ball goes into touch this time, but not much meters gained outside the 22. Another opportunity for the Chinese Taipei players. So Taipei put into the scrum. It's a knock forward. Ball comes up to South Korea. South Korea stepping inside their own half. Setting it up is the South Korean props. Now it comes, and once again a knock forward. This is not going to do good at all for the South Koreans. And another scrum to Chinese Taipei. And another opportunity on the 22-meter mark.
One thing I noticed, Dinuk, I think all the pressure is being put by the Chinese Taipei boys, and Korea, who fancied themselves of winning this match convincingly, seem to be making mistakes after mistakes, and nothing is going right in their way. So another opportunity for the Taipei boys. It's a scrum on Korea 22-meter line. And a win for Chinese Taipei, Dinuk, will put this tournament open. If Sri Lanka can beat Hong Kong, then all four teams will have one win each. And the referee awards a penalty there, quickly taken by the Chinese Taipei, and they work the line there. It's their big center. He goes to ground. They have numbers on the outside. The number 20. Twin, he's brought down. But ball goes loose, and referee awards a penalty to the Chinese Taipei. So they should let's see what they will do, whether they'll go for the points or whether they go for touch. They decide to go for touch, actually. That's another opportunity, I think, Dinuk, leading 12 points to 7 with the last 10 minutes. I think going for points will be probably safe there rather than going for a touch.
Yeah, if they have kicked 3 points, South Korea would have scored twice. So not getting their mathematics right on that occasion, the Chinese Taipei players. And once again, they are line out in a spot of bother. Managed to recover position, though, the Chinese Taipei players. Now they're trying to set up. It comes out to the Taipei players, and that's a lovely try from the number 15. That's Lin. That was beautifully done. The fly half gave it to the inside center, who ran across, and a lovely straight running line from the fullback. Under the post he goes, Lin. And once again there are about 5 injured players on the ground, not looking good. But Chinese Taipei have sealed this. try scorer converts his own try. So it'll be 19 points to 7 in favor of Chinese Taipei.
Dinuk, are we going to see upset the way things are going at the moment? So Korea will have to hit back. They'll have to score 3 times, I think, if they are to get the lead.
Yes, they have to, and hope there'll be another upset in the evening match as well. If Sri Lanka can beat Hong Kong, that'll be a classic one for the Lankans.
Yeah, everybody will be watching that match too. So they'll want to know. If Chinese Taipei pull out and win today, so it'll be interesting to see Sri Lankans what they will do in their match against Hong Kong. That's coming at 4:30 rather. So it's all to play for Korea with about 10 minutes to go. And there are some changes, some replacements coming. There is a player injured there. So play is halted. There are about 2 players. And also Chinese Taipei making some replacements there. So there'll be fresh legs. What a game for the underdogs actually, coming into this match. Much was expected for Koreans to have their own way and win comfortably, but does not to be. And they trail by 19 points to 7. Still 2 players injured and play has been halted. One Chinese Taipei player. He's back on his feet. That's the number 2. Wing. But the other player seems to be, I think he needs assistance there. His game is finished, I think. He's been taken along the stretcher. Dinuk, what do Korea need to do in this last 10 minutes?
Avoid mistakes. Don't drop the ball. And they would have not done that right throughout. They would have had more points than the Chinese Taipei team. As the Koreans restart proceedings, go to a short kick, good collection and a good tackle from South Korea. The ball comes out Chinese Taipei way once again, but trying to put it into touch other Chinese Taipei players. They retrieve the ball, but it's a penalty. And the assistant referee has put his flag out. It'll be interesting to see what it will be.
So penalty to Koreans. And they opt to take a short kick and go through their number 17. He drops the ball there, but ball goes backwards. Fortunate for Korea, but no, I think it's a knock-on there. So Korea making mistakes after mistakes, and with the every minute ticking by, I think the chance of Korea pulling this out is slim, Dinuk, at this moment.
Yeah, it looks like so. Another opportunity gone begging for the South Koreans. This will be interesting to see how they attack from here on. Few minutes more to the final whistle as Chinese Taipei get another free kick. They will have no hurry at all in taking this. as they gain possession once again. It's another scrum for Chinese Taipei. So minutes, few more minutes to the final whistle. So Chinese Taipei ball in the scrum just on the 40-meter mark as the number 8 picks it up at the back and runs around. He has support on the outside, beautifully done, has one man to beat, gives it to the win 3/4. Here comes another try for Chinese Taipei, and under the post he touches it down, and that's Yun Jing Lin. That was a brilliant try, brilliantly done from Ye. Picked it up at the back of the scrum, ran around the defense. South Korean flanker, they are not coming out of that scrum to make that tackle or to chase. He had only the fullback in his side, the number 8. Sucked him in, threw the pass on the outside. And too much pace. Under the post he goes. Brilliant try, Spencer.
Definitely, that was a brilliant try actually. Everything went well from the scrum. Their number 8 broke well on the blind side, and he had just one tackler, and his offload was beautifully collected by the wing, who ran around and scored under the post with the conversion successful. So it's the conversion missed there rather. So it stands at 24 points to 7 in favor of Chinese Taipei, and I think then that is done and dusted for the Koreans. I think for them to make a comeback, it will be difficult, and they don't have time with minutes ticking by. So we are going to see the first upset of this tournament, Dinuk.
Yeah, South Korea was brilliant against the day, but they are lacking a lot of today. And once again, kicking ahead of the mark, and Chinese Taipei will have another opportunity to have a crack before the final whistle. It will be another center scrum.
And if Chinese Taipei, they win this, they'll be on 4 points. Korea, they'll be also on 4 points. And Sri Lanka here to score to get off their mark.
So if Sri Lanka beat Hong Kong today, it will be a tie all round going into the final day's play. It will be very interesting from there on. That will be on Saturday the 27th. Sri Lanka, of course, playing a 2:30 match on that day. And Sri Lanka would have played 2:30 matches right through the tournament, or at least 2:30 matches would have given them the advantage. Nevertheless, another 4:30 match today that's coming up between Hong Kong and Sri Lanka. In the meantime, Chinese Taipei have their position just outside the 50-meter mark. A long cutout pass to the outside center. He has taken a couple of players down. The Chinese Taipei defender, now man on the outside, breaks through the scrum half, has one man to beat. He's trying to run around, not giving the pass. They are guilty of not throwing the pass and pushed into touch from South Korea. And that will be the end, as Chinese Taipei beat South Korea 24 points to 7, the biggest upset of the day, with the match between Sri Lanka and Hong Kong coming up at 4:30. And stay tuned to ThePapare.com, www.ThePapare.com. We'll show you live footage from Racecourse Grounds. The match at 4:30 is coming up between Sri Lanka and Hong Kong, as Chinese Taipei have beaten South Korea 24 points to 7. See you in a bit.